This is Isaiah Cassidy. I'm Mark Quinn, and we're Private Party.
And you're listening to the All Elite Podcast.
Well then, welcome to the All Elite Podcast, and I'm gonna have to say sorry to these wolves in particular, and to us, Tiff, and the fans out there. We saw that beautiful new intro that I got done for us for the No Holds Barred Network. What I forgot to do, and Tiff, I'll let you do it through the screen here. I forgot to add our All Elite Podcast theme song, done by our friends from These Wolves. So Tiff, here's the bell. I'll give it to you. You can hand it. You can grab the handle there. Okay, and then I can. Shame. Oh boy, These Wolves. Please don't crucify me on this. But guys, welcome to the All Elite Podcast. Your source for all elite content right here, the No Holds Barred Network. Your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I'm your host, as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, joined by my co-host. She's the executive vice president of Giggles, the heartbreak chick herself, and the queen of the indies, believe it or not, Tiffany. Come on, Tiff. God dang it, I forgot the theme song.
Shame.
Damn.
Okay, I think
it's in the outro though, so you guys can hear it.
You gotta blame Kyle. Okay, guys, blame Kyle. Don't blame me. Hashtag blame Kyle.
I was like, I'm watching and I'm looking on like OBS and thinking, when's it starting? Is it gonna start yet? Like, what's going on here? It's just black.
Is this like a trick or treat? Like, it's really not a treat. It's a
this
trick.
Is the trick. This is the trick in trick or treating. Fitting with tomorrow being Halloween. Gonna be a wet Halloween up here, by the way.
Same here.
They're calling for a buttload of rain up here, so poor kids.
It's snowing in Chicago, believe it or not.
Whoa.
So it's crazy.
I hope the weather is at least good for next weekend, because myself and Tiff will be at full gear.
Oh my God. Me and Kyle were talking about this earlier. It's crazy. It snuck up on us.
Right, it did.
So fast. Like, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Me in person again?
I'm good. I'm just excited for my pop.
Oh, your pop.
My
okay,
pop.
I gotta bring some pop.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a soda.
Anyways, guys, if you're new to the All Elite Podcast, welcome. Where myself and Tiff go over Dynamite each and every single week right here on the podcast. We also do pay-per-view predictions and reviews and keep you guys up to date with what's going on in the AEW world. We do the Being the Elite review, which we probably won't touch base on this episode, probably the next episode. Maybe we'll go over it at the end if we have time. If not, we will see. So we are under time constraints too, just like AEW tonight, as we saw right at the end there. Time management will be a thing to work on in AEW. Obviously, they're not going to be perfect, as some haters seem to think that this company's like perfect for some reason. Like, it's not. They never said they were perfect. There's going to be some hiccups, and clearly this is a hiccup. Time management, which they will figure out. Let's cut them some slack a little bit. I'm sure they're going to figure it out. Just the last couple of weeks, they've been trying to jam-pack the shows. That's kind of normal, I think, for like the first couple of shows. They're only like 4 weeks into it, and they kind of want to get as much into it as they can to try to attract an audience. I think that's probably the purpose of them jam-packing these shows, but obviously they're going to be learning as time goes on that they only have a certain amount of time to deal with being on a TV network, right?
But I think this episode was probably one of the best episodes. I felt, anyway.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah. It's getting better, and it's still, like you said, they're still working kinks out. You can't really slam them and compare them to, other companies out there.
Right. So it's a decent episode tonight from Charleston, West Virginia, at the Charleston Coliseum. Okay, very good episode. Like Tiff said, this is probably one of their best ones so far. Obviously, with the end, with the whole time constraint thing, it was a little weird, especially for a very hyped up match and being their first championship match for their tag titles, which is a staple are going to be one of the big titles in AEW. I'm imagining that's going to be their most important championship is the tag team championships, and it's weird to go out like that. And I was talking to Tiff before we went on air here. I think for sure there's going to be a rematch at Full Gear, and I think we're going to get it felt really rushed, this match.
Yeah.
It was very, very rushed.
I really felt that this should have been at Full Gear and had more time with it. But I said this before on other episodes that this should have really been saved for Full Gear. But it was still good. It was still a good match. I mean, I don't know how you want to go about talking about this today.
We'll start at the beginning. I was just kind of wanted to put that out there. The beginning of AEW Dynamite. So because I still can't find a TSN2 feed here, I'm catching the TNT feed. So I saw what you guys saw on TNT. I got the picture-in-picture and all that mumbo jumbo. It sucks too because I can't get it on Fight up here either. Fight TV it's out of my jurisdiction up here, so it sucks. I'm sure that'll get better in time as well. But we kind of like saw the beginning of, before Dynamite went on the air, like the promo package of what happened off the air last week, which is cool. I'm glad that they kind of filled the fans in about what happened. We also got some like bonus content footage of Moxley having a meeting with Tony Khan behind closed doors, which is really cool. I really love that. And then basically it was Khan telling him, like, you know, we want to play it safe here. You know, we know what you're all about, and we've seen what you and Kenny have been doing. We have to make this match unsanctioned, you know, quote unquote, lights out, because you know we don't want this to be under AEW's roof, because you guys are just gonna rip each other apart. And then Moxie's getting mad because it's not going to count towards his record, and he's getting pissed off because that's what he thinks that's all they see him as. But then he goes like and cuts that promo tonight, and I'm like, no wonder they see you as this guy, because look at the promo you cut tonight. So
I'm liking that they're calling the unsanctioned lights out match.
So
something that would, you know.
Khan saying he doesn't want it, doesn't want AEW to be under that. He kind of wants it unsanctioned so it doesn't count towards anything. And Moxley basically told Tony, he's like, you know what, Kenny's blood's going to be on your hands if you want this unsanctioned. You're not going to like when I have to do it to him. And he just bursts out of that locker room, I guess. But we moved into to Dynamite live from Charleston. Crowd was pretty hot. Open up with Sammy Guevara.
Let me tell you.
Hangman Page.
How we're talking throughout this whole episode, and I was talking about Sammy G's gear. I love the purple, I love the sparkly, I don't know.
That's what I text you. I'm like, I know why you love it. It's pretty clear.
Like, and the glitter queen.
But it was only Excalibur and JR on commentary, because we've seen also in the beginning, I forgot to mention that Cody and Tony were on the way in a limo, and we got word to later as why that was happening. But we're opening up AEW today with Sammy G and Hangman. Sammy G not with a great record so far in AEW. It's a 0-2 singles record and an overall record of 2-2. Hangman was going in at 500 with a singles record of 2-2 and an overall record of 3-3, so he was looking to get into that win column. Crowd was very behind Hangman, I believe, because it was in his home state. So it was a little bit of a homecoming for Hangman Page, doing some cowboy shit. It was a good match. It was a little sloppy at the beginning, but they ended up picking it back up. A lot of good spots here and there. And then Hangman was able to hit that massive buckshot lariat that literally turned Sammy Guevara over and flipped him inside out. And Hangman was able to get the win. But it was a good match. I liked it. I thought it was a decent opening.
I'm kind of mixed with it, because I was picking up on a lot of sloppy parts. And actually, Ray, he's in the chat. We were talking about this earlier. And I've become very spoiled with all like the indies. And I've been noticing, I've been looking more into details about the chemistry between two wrestlers. And I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of flashy
I think
spots.
you were blinded by the glitter.
No, don't even go there. That's not even
Or were you
true.
looking at something else?
No. He's the Spanish sex god. No, he's not on the list of husbands. Neither one of them are on the list of husbands. But I don't know. Like, I feel like it kind of overshadowed the like all the whoopla, whatever you want to call it, like that. I don't know. There was a lot of good spots, and there was a lot of slop. So, but I think towards the end it got a little bit better, but in the beginning it was.
It's a good
So,
boost. Like the crowd was so hot behind Hangman, and he was definitely feeling it. And I think it was a decent opening match just to kick us off. Like it got the crowd fired up, and then he got on the mic after, talked about Full Gear and how he's going to be pulling some cowboy shit, Full Gear, basically cutting a promo on Pac. He's going to take his head off, and basically a short but sweet promo, just telling you how it is and building up for his match against Pac. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get these guys to go on a rematch. Hangman looks a lot better. Looks like he's getting from what I can say, like with the certain person in the ring with him, he can not have a good match. He looks very good. It just, to me, it looks like he's shaking a lot of rust off. To me, his last couple of matches have been, I don't know, I've been watching him and I'm going like, what's going on here? Like I don't know. There's not there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me, but to me, I from what I see, he's been a little bit rusty lately, and this match kind of like almost like he shook off the rust with this match, and he's looking really good.
They've only been on like the weekly the last couple of weeks, so they had all this time that they weren't wrestling either. Yeah, so
that's true.
So they're not used to like the weekly. So we'll see. As we keep going, I always see them getting better. Yeah. And Cupid Girl in the chat wants us to talk about the Rick and Morty ring.
Yeah, like right when they went into that match, I'm looking and going, what the hell is going on here? Like all I could see, and I couldn't see the ring pads. Like I didn't see the ring pads at first. I'm looking, I just see why is it green? What's going on here? And then I looked more closely, and the turnbuckle pads had Rick and Morty all over them, and I'm like, okay, so this episode of AEW is sponsored by Rick and Morty, clearly.
It looks like slime to me. That's what I
so
think.
Weird.
Like the green, like it just reminded me of like Nickelodeon slime for some reason.
And it was very WWE style, like the ring posts were those big cylinder things that they can decorate. It was really weird. I don't know. It threw me off. And through that whole match, I'm looking, going, I thought there was writing on it. I'm literally doing one of these, like, well, what the hell's going on there? Anyways, while the picture-in-picture was going, in the TV break or the commercial break, we saw our boys Private Party backstage with.
I want my money back, okay?
With the Rock and Roll Express. And I'm like, oh, can't hear them.
I need to see more of Private Party. I want my money back. I'm sorry, like.
Yeah, we couldn't hear them. I want to know what the hell was going on. I hope they
give it the beads.
I hope they like play that clip. There's a clip somewhere of them talking because I want to hear what they were saying. Sure. We came back from commercial break to an interesting entrance. I'm like, who's this? And her name is Shauna. Mm-hmm. She's a new woman in the women's division. So we talked about it a couple episodes back how there was a couple of women that were signed that we don't know of yet. So here's one of them. She's new to the division. JR was saying she's a highly regarded prospect. And she's some sort of she had a Portuguese nickname, but she was billed from France, and I'm going, what's going on here? Where is she from? Is she French? Is she Portuguese? What's going on? Like, what's going on? Anyways, she faced off against my girl, Hikaru Shida, or the way Justin Roberts say it was amazing, Hikaru Shida. I love the way Justin Roberts does ring announcing. It's amazing. It was a good match. And I loved Shauna in this match, or Shayna, or Shauna. I don't know. I don't remember how they pronounced it. But this was I was interested because I'm like, okay, this is so new. We know what Sheeta's about. Shauna, we don't know. Maybe there's some people out there that have seen her wrestle before. They know what she's about. But clearly there's a lot of people like me and Tiff here have no idea who the hell this person was. And I think she did a good job in this match, and she had a really good showing. There's a really cool knee spot on the outside that Sheeta set up a chair and did that big running knee spot. It would look very good. It was very well done. Usually, and I'm not trying to like jab the women's division or anything. Usually when a spot like that's set up on the outside, you don't see a lot of spots go clean with a women's match. Now was a clean spot. Now I'm definitely applauding that for that. It's a good back and forth matchup. Again, there was a good showing by Shauna. She got a lot of moves in, and we saw a lot about her. I think that was done on purpose as well to introduce her to the AEW fan base, as she's going to be part of this women's division. There are a lot of very close near falls near the end, almost too close sometimes. Even the crowd was like, "That was 3." Like it was some of these
a lot of close spots.
There was a lot where I'm like, "Oh my god!" That they say the term 2 3/4. I think it was like 2 fair like this much left in the pinfall, and good job on the referee, man, because if you hit the mat, that's an ugly botch. Finally, Sheeta hits her running knee, and she ends up getting a victory. Not putting anything aside for Shauna, she had a really good match, and Sheeta getting a win on AEW television. Love it. She's my girl.
I love that the crowd is behind her.
Yeah, they're very behind this match. I was more than I expected. So, and
I'm liking the Joshi wrestling. Sorry.
They even mentioned in the beginning that how all in Hikaru is with AEW, saying JR brought up that she is, or was it Excalibur that brought up that she's now full-time living in the United States. She said, "I'm all in with AEW. I'm moving. I'm Paco. I made a bank account." She got her own bank account in the United States now.
She's practicing her English too on Twitter as well. She's been making videos with that.
So that's cool. I really like that. So slowly but surely, guys, we're gonna get more introduced to the AEW division. Have patience. Then we get speaking of the women, this was very Halloweeny, if that makes sense, and B, damn. So we're going in a different direction with Brandy. We got a Brandy vignette, and it's this evil, creepy voodoo witch character side of her, and her like summoning Awesome Kong and like having the hair of her previous opponents and like doing this voodoo crap with it, and Kong grabbing it and smelling it and going
It was funny. Our friend, the Queen of NE, she put a tweet out. She said, "So they reshot that Brandy pointing finger promo. Anyone else notice? This video is cool, but I have questions. Is she possessed by Awesome Kong? Is she controlling Awesome Kong? Or is she brewing something up? Women's faction thoughts."
I think she's like, I think it's a witch character, like a summoning witch character. They're going to something different with this, and her beast that she summons is Awesome Kong. And it kind of reminds me, and a lot of horror geeks like myself out there are going to know what I'm talking about. I get the Sleepy Hollow vibes with that. If anyone remembers the movie Sleepy Hollow with I think it was Johnny Depp that was in that one. I believe it was Johnny Depp. Quote me if I'm wrong. There was the one part where the blonde lady would summon the horsemen to go out and get the people. That's what the vibes I got. Like, she's going to be the one to summon Awesome Kong to do her bidding for her. So, I thought it was awesome. I loved it. I actually loved the vignette. I know there's a lot of mixed reactions on Twitter, but I actually loved it. It's different from Brandy. We're not getting this, she's the wife of Cody and getting a chance in the division, that kind of crap that we got before she had her first match. You know what I mean? I think that's overplayed. We're going somewhere different. They're trying a character on her. So I'm loving this, and we're bringing that fantasy stuff into wrestling, which is one of the reasons why we love wrestling. We love that fantasy crap that they put into wrestling. So I'm loving this direction they're going with Brandy.
That's perfect for Halloween.
Yeah, it was good timing. The timing was great.
I don't think that wasn't part of it. That wasn't a coincidence. They love Halloween. They love dressing up for Halloween. So
yeah. Oh man, they gave all the people at ringside the freaking Morty masks.
Yeah.
Those were creepy. Like, those, a lot of people loved it because they love the show, and I don't hate me, people out there. I haven't seen the show ever, but those masks were creepy. So then we had our Chris Van Fleet up on the stage introducing the Rock and Roll Express, who came out with the championship belts. What still looks weird to me is the snake skin on the back of the belts.
I like it.
It's so sexy. Weird. I forgot. It's sexy. So weird though.
I like it.
I'm like, I look at the front, I'm like, oh, it's really cool title belts, and it flips. I'm going, oh, what the?
I like it.
It's different, but they're with the belts. They're cutting a promo about like one of their matches they had in that stadium, and then all of a sudden, the Inner Circle comes out, Santana and Ortiz.
Powerful.
Yeah,
Not
I got it wrong.
Powerful, proud, and powerful.
It's an honest mistake. It's not like I said it was like, happy and powerful. At least I got the P right. The P and the R right, actually.
Yeah.
Anyways, they came out. They started beating down on the Rock and Roll Express. That was a cool segment here. Even led to the one spot. He had loaded socks, which I'm like, oh man, that's very gangster. That's gangster as it can be. That they're really bringing their like New York streets kind of thing into this. You should know what I mean. Like loaded socks. I'm not saying you're from the streets,
New Yorker, like.
but you should know about gangs and what they what they're all about. Not saying I'm not saying you're in it. I'm saying you should know. It's like saying I'm from Canada, but I don't know about maple syrup. Okay.
Wow, the things that people think of us crazy New Yorkers, like, damn. Like,
do we need to watch a documentary together and show you what? Do I have to show you what's in your own city?
Like the whole thing.
That's pretty sad.
You got to put money in your socks because it's New York.
That's like someone coming to me.
God.
Hold up. That's like someone trying to come to me and saying, "Did you know there's water going over the falls, Niagara Falls?" I'm like, no. Stop. That's water. That's water.
Okay. Oh, you guys already see what's gonna happen next week, right? When we're together, it's gonna be like a shit show.
Just saying. Anyways, anywho, the loaded socks, right to the gut, and then the really cool spot of them doing that kind of back slam through the stage, and the Young Bucks coming out for the save and chasing off the Inner Circle. Which kind of leads to something later on the night. So I thought it was a pretty cool segment, and we know the Rock and Roll Express can take bumps because they're still wrestling today. These old guys, I can't believe they're still wrestling nowadays. They're nuts.
Yeah. Pretty cool though.
Yeah, it gets more heat on the Inner Circle. It's what it is, and it's building them up. So I like it, and especially it builds up Santina and Ortiz. Then we had an interesting tag match. Your boy, the Beaver Boys, are back from.
Yes.
from your indie promotion up there.
I'm sorry, it's the indie queen over here. So it's just between John Silver and Alex Reynolds. And then I'm just saying, I was just at Outlaw a couple weeks ago, and our boy Leroy Green just faced Alex Reynolds on Outlaw Wrestling. So I'm just saying.
Some Outlaw Wrestling.
Leroy got the win on that, I'm just saying.
Anywho, Rihu, he was teaming up with QT. Your boys teaming up with QT Marshall. They are facing off the Best Friends in Orange Cassidy. But beforehand, we had this is what I was going about earlier. We had Tony Schiavone and Cody in the limo. We had that footage first. Basically, Schiavone was going over a story with Cody's father and Willie Nelson about some hotel they were at, and then like Willie Nelson went to the pool, and then Schiavone went to Dusty's room, and then he was butt naked, and he was asking where is Nelson in the pool, and he's like, I'm gonna put some clothes on, then I'm gonna go see him, and then he mentioned to Schiavone that the star always comes out last, and he said that's what we're gonna do to Jericho tonight. Jericho's gonna go out first. We are the star. You're going to go out last, Cody. And then Cody talks about beating Jericho at a Full Gear, that he knows that the judges are going to be there, but he doesn't want the judges to make the match. He wants his game plan is to go in and beat him in the 60 minutes. Now, I have a thing with this judges thing. So we know now from this past week, that there's going to be 3 random judges to determine a winner if the match goes beyond 60 minutes. It's got a lot of a mixed reaction. We put a tweet out there, and we got a lot of hate and a lot of okay. Here's my thing. I don't think it's going to go past 60 minutes.
Yeah,
I really don't think so. I think that's just something to add there to make just add a sports feel, which a lot of people grasped that concept, which I'm happy about. I don't think it's going past 60 minutes. 100% it's not going past 60 minutes. I think they're going to respect the concept of an Iron Man match and keep a 60-minute match for when they do an Iron Man match. This is going to go less than 60 minutes. They're just going to be there for sports field concept, and it's going to get determined within 60 minutes. I guarantee it. That's my call, and I don't think they're going to get past 60. There's no way. That would be stupid to go to judges. I kind of agree with some of the people that are saying, like, why are we leaving it to 3 judges to determine a predetermined match? It's kind of weird in a sense, right? So, I don't know. It's
that they could go for 60 minutes, those two?
I think Jericho could.
Like, what do you guys think of the chat?
There's going to be a lot of antics. They can't wrestle for 60 minutes. Yeah. There could be a lot of they could probably wrestle for maybe 40 and then 20 minutes, playing to the crowd or interference and, just other stuff. I don't think it's going to go 60 minutes. There's no way. I think they're going to respect the rule of an Iron Man match. But Cody brought up that his mom's going to be there at ringside and how that means a lot to him and he wants to impress her like Dusty did to her when she would go watch Dusty's matches. And Tony says to Cody, you know what, Cody, you have to use that emotion with you for this match. It's a really big match, so take that emotion that you have for this match and use it to beat Jericho. And it was a really cool segment they had in the limo there, him and Tony sharing that together. And then we got back to the match, the best friends, and Orange Cassidy dressed as Rick and Morty. This is, I guess, the Rick and Morty match like they do like when they had the Cracker Barrel match. It's the Rick and Morty match of the night. This is where they hand out the mask to everyone at ringside and they're wearing these creepy things. I'm like, Jesus. Those were creepy. I don't know. I'm sorry to the Rick and Morty fans. Those things were creepy. And then best friends dressed as the characters from Rick and Morty was pretty funny too. So this is a very, very fun and entertaining match. Like I had a lot of fun watching this match. Like there is a lot of antics and the whole Orange Cassidy thing was like the funnest thing out of this entire match. I don't get how he gets so much shit, this guy. And I tweeted it out. If you don't find this guy entertaining whatsoever, you're literally a Scrooge and you just don't like anything.
But like I've said also with Orange Cassidy, he can wrestle.
He can, but people just don't want to be patient, Tiff. People want to judge him like that. It's the people that just judge.
That's the character, okay? But even before he was Orange Cassidy, he could go.
How can you not how can you not enjoy that? It's entertaining. It's like it doesn't have to be 100% serious wrestling all the time. That's what it's about.
There are some bad comedy wrestling, but he's just so good. And like I said, when he can go, you guys haven't even seen. If you guys are not familiar with him, like you guys haven't even seen what he can do.
I think a big part of it too is the crowd. The crowd obviously loves it. I think if the crowd wasn't enjoying it and they weren't feeling it, they weren't going to continue with that, or they probably wouldn't have signed him to begin with.
Well, it goes into like even if
it's over. It's over in the independent scene. It got really over. So AEW seen that and said, okay, we're bringing that to our television.
It's like Joey Janela versus the Invisible Man. If the crowd is not into it, it's not going to make the match. So it's the same thing with Orange Cassidy. If the crowd isn't into it, it's not going to make the match. But Orange Cassidy is
not going to make the character, basically.
So
I thought it was fun and entertaining. I really loved it. Best Friends ended up winning after a bunch of antics from Orange Cassidy and a lot of beautiful tag team chemistry. It was great.
Best Friends hug. I like when
oh my god, the glasses got knocked over.
Yeah. But that's always the thing that the refs always putting the glasses on Orange Cassidy and then they go in for the Best Friends hug. I love it. Okay. So
I love the whole thing. I love this whole thing. So Best Friends win, another big win for them.
Yeah. Great stuff.
And then we moved into a segment, and it was Jericho and Cody, the contract signing. And I'm just gonna point out right off the bat, I love the concept of them on the stage. That's different. We usually get the contract signing in the ring. I don't know. I'm just one of those guys who think little things that are weird awesome. I thought this was awesome, and I love that they kept it all red carpeted too throughout the rampway, very professional looking. Jericho comes out first, as Cody said. The star comes out second, and this attire that Jericho had.
I love it.
I sent out a really bad tweet. I'm like, oh god, I regret this tweet. The Jack O'Larico. Oh, it's a bad joke. That's like a dad joke. Anyways, he had a jack-o'-lantern looking suit.
Yeah. I love it.
Cody ends up coming out after. He got a really good response. Jericho got really good heat, which was really good. That was intended. There's the one part where after Cody signed, the contract came over to him, and Jericho didn't sign. And he just kind of flinched, did the jump up thing, and then Cody kind of flinched and got up too, and then Jericho was like, Cody, I'm not gonna do anything. We're not doing that. We're not doing this flip table, putting you through the table, contract signing. We're professionals here. I'm le champion. Jericho signs it after after a little bit of chit chat. He says he's gonna teach basically going to teach Cody how to be a loser because he's going to beat him at Full Gear. They go in at the center of the table after both getting up and signing a contract. Jericho flinches the thing again at Cody. Cody flinched again. And he's like, no, we're going to keep this professional. Me and you are professionals here. This is for the AEW World Championship. We're going to keep it classy because Le Champion keeps it classy. And he goes for the handshake. So Cody obliges. He gives him a handshake. And he does the whole pull-in handshake in their face-to-face. And then I think Jericho says, like, to Cody, I don't know why you're so eager to get anywhere, Cody, or something like that. I think he said, I forget, I didn't write down what he said, but then because I was trying to pay attention to the screen because they're showing something on the screen and they're showing Sammy Guevara in the parking lot with his phone, his blog phone, and in the background, Jake Hagar, or Hagar, as Jericho calls him, beating the crap out of Dustin Rhodes here, and he's just literally beating the crap out of him. There's like just slams, like just a slam on top of the limo. Then there was like it got brutal from here. Like it got nuts. So there was a spot where he literally he grabbed Dustin's head and smashed it into the limo, and it literally dented. I'm like, oh, I mean, I don't care how good you guys are at stopping stuff. That looked like it hurt. Like that looked like it would still hurt. And then they pulled this spot where his arm was in the limo, and Jake Hagar's just looking at your distance, going, like building himself up, like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And then he smashes the door on Dustin Rhodes' arm, and wow, that I cringed. I'm like, oh, that looks painful. That looked really good. Like that was really well done. I want to point something out here. So as they were backing away, and Cody comes in, and like all the other security is trying to stop Jake Hagar, and I keep saying Hagar like Jericho does, and Sammy G. Guys, replay this. Go back and watch if you didn't catch it, because I caught it and I tweeted it right away. MJF comes in and he does one of these stares at the camera, like it was one of those planted stares. This was not done unintentionally. He looked at the camera with a weird glare. I'm telling you, this is part of the build-up to his turn. I guarantee you that I'm just a guess here. You know, I'm going to roll with it. That I think MJF helped plan that attack on Dustin Rhodes. And he's either going to go maybe join the Inner Circle eventually, or just, you know, go against Cody and be on his own. But he helped. Maybe he tipped off the Inner Circle where Dustin was or something. Because why would he look at the camera like that? He didn't need to look at the camera. We knew it was MJF. He has his damn scarf on all the time. He didn't need to turn around.
Still too soon. I think it's too soon.
No, I know it's too soon, but it's just a plant. It's a seed. It's a planted seed.
So you think like when he turns that you know, like the little things like this are gonna
call me
out.
Crazy? That's not a planted seed. Call me crazy.
I mean, we're all expecting him to turn, and I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I don't think it's gonna be this soon.
And I love the end of it. Like Jericho's lighting a cigar.
This is how you build.
That was great.
Stories, though. This is we've been talking about. This is. Oh my god.
It was so good. That was so good. That was such a good segment. They did a really good job with this one. A little bit of work maybe on the sound. The sound was kind of all over the place during that whole thing, but I'm sure they'll work on it eventually. But as for the segment itself, really awesome. So we came back from commercial break. We had the Hybrid 2 and your boy Kip Sabian, list of husbands, member Kip Sabian. It looks like he's better from that broken finger, I guess. He had it pretty taped, but looks like he's ready to go. And they faced off against the Elite and Kenny.
Oh my god.
Interesting attire. So I tweeted out because I noob at this stuff. And he was, okay, Tiff, I have the quote here. He was I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. Don't hate me, Twitter. Don't hate me, folks. He was, it's okay, Tiff, I want to hear you pronounce this first before I do. It's Sans. How do you say that name? Sans?
Yeah.
Or Sans? Sans from the video game Undareable. God, I can't even read my own writing. Undareable. I think that's what it's called. So he's a video game character, basically. And even the Young Bucks brought in the video game. They wore their Street Fighter gear. So they're all, dressed up for Halloween and bringing their inner video game nerdiness out. This is a very fast and high-packed, high-paced match. A lot of crazy-ass spots. It's very quick. It's a very, 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 very fast match. They guys were, with these two teams that gelled well together in terms of spots, in terms of the style of wrestling that they do. It was good. I really, really enjoyed this match. Awesome ending to that. The Elite win. Would love
on the Jack Evans train, because I know I was not really a fan, but he's really
JR pointed it out too. I don't know if you heard it. He's saying like Jack Evans just he's building him up. What I'd love to see, and I saw it. There's a couple of times where they had a couple of interactions. I'd love to see Kip and Kenny go at it one-on-one. I'd love to see those two go at it one-on-one. I think those two would have a really stellar match. Given the time, given a good 15-20 minutes, those guys would have a barn burner match.
Yeah. So
I'm hoping eventually we get to see Kenny versus Kip, because I'll be all over that match.
And everybody in the chat saying Undertale. That's the name of the game. We need our boy Leroy to help
Undertale? Oh, man. I'm sorry. Don't hate me, guys. I'm sorry.
We don't know.
We don't know. But yeah, Kip and Kenny.
Yeah.
Love to see those guys go at it one-on-one in AEW. Love to. Hopefully we get to see that eventually. Santana and Ortiz were at ringside. I think, did they have Rick and Morty masks? I was looking down for a quick second, and I look up, and they're attacking the Young Bucks. I think they may have been in disguise at ringside with those stupid masks. So they attacked the Young Bucks, and then Kenny came in and then scared them away. So twice, the Santana and Ortiz getting the best out of the Young Bucks.
I love it.
So,
I love it. Again, this is how you build stories.
Yeah. For them, especially for those two who, like, there's so much going into Full Gear that they're both having a match with each other, and to build, you want to build some kind of story. I think for what they have and what they've done so far, it's just a grudge storyline. It's one of those grudge storylines where they're the heel team, they're getting the best out of the Young Bucks, and they're throwing them off and catching them off guard, and that they're building that going into their match at Full Gear. And I think their match at Full Gear is going to be an insane tag team match. So, and then we had a crazy segment here. To me, okay, you guys can, say I'm wrong or whatever after this. The segment they had with Peter Avalon and Moxley, I think they could have saved this for next week if they were in time constraint, because this came right before the main event. If they were worried about the main event not getting enough time, this Moxley segment could have been saved for next week, because there's still one more episode of Dynamite before Full Gear.
But they already had announced it, so they had to do it.
I know. You know what I mean? Or maybe they could have saved him for Dark. Maybe they could have made this. You could have put this on Dark. You could have put this.
You need Peter Avalon and leave it to come out. That's how I kind of feel. They could have left that part out.
You know what? No, they could have put this on Dark. You know why? Because then you could promote that Moxley's going to appear on Dark this week, so you're going to get more viewers on Dark for next week. You say Moxley's going to be live on Dark this week. We don't know what he's going to do. Watch Dark to find out what he does. People will get drawn into Moxley. Clearly, if we've seen tonight how over the guy is, right, people will watch Dark just for Moxley. So I think if they were worried about time constraints, they could have pushed this to Dark, or maybe scratch next week, but put it to Dark for sure, and then have more time for that main event tag team match, because that felt way too rushed. So anyways, Peter Avalon comes out, the whole shh thing. The shh, Tiff.
Still hate it.
Tiff.
Shut up.
That's what the crowd was saying to Peter Avalon, actually. He cut a promo basically in the city doing his whole shtick. Moxley, then they show Moxley coming out of the crowd. I love the camera that follows him, that type of camera they have that follows him through the crowd. I love that. And he comes out of the crowd and he hits the paradigm shift. Crowd's going absolutely ballistic. He's so over. My God, it's ridiculous.
I was telling Kyle before also that I wasn't a huge fan of Dean Ambrose in WWE, but now, like, with AEW and just letting him go, it's like I've become such a huge fan of Jon Moxley.
There's such a big difference from his scripted, even at the end of his Ambrose run crap, to what he is now, and he's clearly way better unscripted and clearly way better at the Moxley character, because that's his element. That's where he came from before WWE. He was that type of crazy guy back when he was in CCW and crap. So he loves this character. He's living it the way he wants to live it, and he's giving that freedom in AEW. And look, it's been the best stuff ever. Even tonight's promo was probably the best promo I've ever seen. Like, I'm not gonna, obviously he's not, but it was an insane promo. He cut a promo on the unsanctioned stuff. He brought up like how it's not going to count, and how AEW and all the execs are treating him like he's this crazy person just because of his character. And it was really, really good, fired up promo. Like, he was fired up about this.
Baddest son of a bitch in the game, he was saying. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he's like, I have a message to all the AEW execs, the corporate people back there, and everyone in the back locker room. Kiss my ass and get out of my way.
He totally went. Great.
Yeah. That's what I tell the people who try to get me to go back to WWE. Tiff, kiss my ass and get out of my way.
That's how I feel.
Anywho, Rihu, this was a sick promo, sweet, sick promo. It was very, very fired up. Moxley is so fired up for this, and basically he's telling AEW, you guys are responsible for what I'm going to do to Kenny. You guys want to put me in unsanctioned? Fine. The blood is on your hands.
Oof, we get to witness this live in person.
Like, it's going to be an insane match. There's going to be a lot of crazy, hardcore stuff. But, guys, the wrestling between Omega and Moxley is going to be really good. Moxley's an insane wrestler. We know he went over to New Japan and gained some craft and put some more effort into his wrestling. So we know he's going to bring that to the table as well against Kenny. This is going to be one of the matches of the night. It's going to be insane. And we've seen what these two have done to each other so far with barbed wire weapons and glass tables. I can only imagine what me and Tiff are going to see live at Full Gear, Tiff. Like, I hope they come up into our section. Come up in our section and fight in our section.
We might be catching body parts in the air or something.
Yeah.
Like
Hey, souvenir, an arm. Good thing I'm not flying. I don't think they would let me bring that on the airplane.
It's not even that. You wouldn't even be able to get past through
the border. I'll just throw it in the river and go to the other side and grab it back. I'll fish it back from the other side.
Oh god. Oh jeez.
Anywho, Rihu. Main event time. Main event. So we got to the main event. We came back from commercial break and the entrances were gone. Right away I'm like, time constraint. They're tight. They're tight for time. Entrances were wiped. Not sure if they got them over the commercial break for the live crowd. I imagine they did some sort of quick entrance. We got back right into the introductions. For what we got for that 15 minutes, though, I thought it was a good match. I want to see more out of it, though, because it felt so rushed, especially at the end. I think we can have a stellar, good 20 to 30-minute match out of these two teams. So, SU ended up winning on a weird roll-up. They won it's weird to win the championships for the first time on that kind of roll-up. You know what I mean? And they did it right at the last second. And I told Tiff beforehand, I think they're going to have a rematch at Full Gear. I think we're getting a championship rematch for sure.
I'd be okay with that. All right. And then here, let me say this, because I know like Twitter world was going absolutely nuts with that SCU won. And a lot of people were mad and say the Lucha Brothers should be champs. Okay. And I'm curious what you're going to say about this, but you guys have to remember too, okay, they're still House of Glory tag team champions and they are the AAA tag team champions. I don't think they're full time with AEW. I think it's coming from the partnership that they have with AAA.
Yeah, you're right, because I think I remember seeing that too. I think someone pointed out on Twitter saying that that they didn't think Lucha were coming out because they are champions in other promotions, and they think it's a little bit too early for them to win the championship. They want them to be in AEW full time. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out to you guys also, like I said, that they're still holding those two different championship belts.
And I don't think people can make the argument of, oh, well, they have multiple promotion titles. They can hold AEW, but AEW separating themselves from that. They're not an independent company. They're their own, trying to be a mega company, so they can't, they kind of don't want to do that. So
yeah. And with the they want the best in the world tag team, and that's what we got. And I think it's perfect. I mean, either way, I would have been happy either or. But I think
Your brothers will be here full time. They'll be here full time eventually. Yeah.
I think SCU is perfect to hold the belts for it.
They got over even in the beginning of the match. They were still over with the crowd. So, and they could put up, man, Kazarian at his age doing stuff like having a match like this is insane. So, again, given the time, these guys are going to have a barn burner type of match.
Yeah.
What is so funny?
No, I'm just laughing at I'm thinking of Being the Elite episode right now.
Oh, he's like, ah, and he's screaming. He's like, he's weightlifting. He scared our boy Cutler this week.
Yes, that's why I'm laughing. I'm just thinking about that clip.
But yeah, it's again, I think maybe, well, it's tough because these guys need, if they're gonna have a rematch, it's got to be anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes long. It's got to be, or even longer. To wait, from what I seen, Tiff, I think these guys could have a 40-minute match, close to a 40-minute match. We've seen 40-minute matches before from other companies' pay-per-views, and right now on the card, there's only 4 matches for Full Gear. Right. So you could
and a women's match.
So I think we're gonna get the rematch at Full Gear. My guess.
Not Private Party. Let's go. SCU. Let's go.
We gotta have a reason. I know AW's not. I know. That's what you want. They're not gonna listen to you.
Hey, you don't know.
I know.
I have it in.
I'm just saying, AW. We do stuff with logic.
Let me.
There's no logic gaps here.
Private Party right now. Hello.
Wow, you dial a phone without even looking at it. That's impressive. That was, guys. You see that? She's got skills.
I got skills. I got skills. They're multiplying.
We're not a Grease podcast. A-dub podcast.
A-dub. I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun.
That's right. That's what AEW is about, having fun. We had fun tonight. It was a good episode, despite the ending being short and weird way to win the championships. It was a good episode, and SCU are big history. They're their first ever tag team champions.
Yeah.
I'm sure Christopher Daniels was smiling.
Yes. So you wanted to be the Elite? It wasn't really a long episode, since we might as well start to be in the Elite.
Don't hate me. I didn't watch it all.
Killing me.
I watched like 3/4 of it, but then I got busy.
Oh, stress.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's why you have a co-host.
Oh, so might as well have it because I made one for it. Let's get into the Being the Elite review. That's right, guys. There you go. There's your AEW fan base watching the Being the Elite review from the All Elite podcast. And we got the #1 fans footage here with his red scarf. That's him. I figured out, Tiff. That's the #1 fan right there. The guy with the red scarf. That's him. That's him right there. He's our #1 fan. I don't know what his name is, but
that's Charles.
Charles is what we're calling him. Charles. Charles having his buddies over watching Being the Elite review by us.
It's like on my weekends, like when I have people come over and watch wrestling.
Yeah, just like that.
So,
good for you, Charles. Good for you.
Thank you. Oh my god. So yeah, we had a really interesting Being the Elite episode.
Interesting, you say.
Yeah, I mean, our boys, Private Party with Nick Jackson. Oh my god, the merch freak.
Oh, the merch freak. Okay. I remember the intro here. They pulled a whole like Chris Angel style intro with the cards. He played the character well, where he just stares in the camera and talks like this. But it was more like David Blaine. That's the vibes I was getting. David Blaine used to do that. Remember David Blaine? He's like, oh, you pick a card. Is this your card? Like, David Blaine was weird. But yeah, they're doing the whole Chris Angel mockery, right? Private Party sold it well. I'm just gonna say that they're selling it very, very well. And then like he tells them to like pull this out of the deck, and all of a sudden there's MJF's like shop scarf. You can hear Private Party. Oh my god, the top selling scarf on Pro Wrestling Tees. No way.
Well, I love even like Nick with his eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get the part where like you watch like the camera like kind of like way when that he puts the card in his mouth and he's like pulling it out of his mouth.
And they're sitting there on the stage like contemplating life party, and was it Quen calls him a witch or something?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a witch.
I love it. And then the whole freaking bit when it comes out of that scene with Nick with the merch freak.
Oh my god, they do like the Chris Angel intro video.
Like a voodoo.
Oh man.
It was so, I was dying with this episode with the music and the effect. Like I was
Can you imagine what people who've never seen Being Elite before were thinking when they watched that?
This is what I'm saying. And Kylie's into too. You need to go back and binge. It's just so funny. I love this is what I love about Being in the Elite. So if you're not watching it, you need to be watching it. So then we cut into the scene with Brandon on the phone with his wife and Kazarian's like working out.
Yeah, he scares the crap out of him. I love these bits where he's scaring people working out. I'm dying at each one of these. I won't ever forget the one with SCU in the locker room and Christopher Daniels went like flying.
No, I love the one with Brandon Cutler probably the most. I don't know. And he was like, yeah, you should love her. He was like, she's a really good woman and she does the best gear. She totally does do the best gear in the business. So,
hope to see you at Full Gear there, Denise.
Yes, I hope so. I can't wait. Like, I already bought my ticket to meet Brandon Cutler again. So I'm excited. And yeah. We got some footage with Cody.
There's no W and I, Tiff. There's a W and I picked Brandon Cutler. I picked Brandon Cutler because I thought we were going to be Brandon Cutler.
No, I know that, but I didn't know if you bought your ticket or not.
I did.
Okay, good. So we
are going to be Brandon Cutler. Gotcha.
Well, you guys do that already. We have to go take a picture with our boy Brandon Cutler. So I feel like we need something like.
I'm still debating on the other ones. There's still other ones left. Right now, I only bought Cutler because.
Oh, not gonna sell out.
Yeah.
Not gonna sell out. I bought also, so you guys know I bought SCU.
And she's gonna try, guys. She's gonna try to get them to say this is the worst podcast I've ever listened to.
Yes, that's the first thing I need to do. And the second thing I need to do is I need to get my gigantic Hershey Kiss signed. It's from Scorpio Sky because of the whole bit of Being the Elite. It's my favorite bit of Being the Elite. So anyway, moving forward, we had a little footage of like backstage Cutler footage. I guess
Cutler footage.
With DDP and MJF. Then we went into like a little bit of like a catering scene that a bunch of guys were waiting to like get food on the line, and then Leva like cuts in line, and Bryce asks Rick, he goes, if you're gonna let her cut, and he's like, I really don't care.
You Rick, see, like, good look by with the whole tucked into the jeans thing. I love that look. Love it. It's old school. Yeah.
Then we see the Young Bucks in the entranceway, best friends at from Latin.
Moxley like cuts in right in the back.
Right, it was like that. Like caught my eye right away. It was like Moxley was walking around backstage. I was cracking up. I was like that like distracted me off of anything else. Then after the match that we had with Brandon Cutler in the back, like cheering on for the Young Bucks. Yeah, you're back.
Giving him mad props. Yeah.
I don't know, like that. I saw somebody tweet out like Sammy G needs to learn how to do that. Like with Brandon Cutler, but what else we see? Orange Cassidy. The Orange Cassidy bit in the back where he's with the doctor and he's got the shades on. And it's like the doctor's checking.
Trent's like, can you do my elbow? He's like, no, man, I gotta take care of Orange Cassidy.
It's like he's sleeping.
Like, no, he's not. And he pulls his glasses. Yeah, see, he's not.
Oh my God. Then we see we go into Hangman Page walking in the hallway. Cody stops him, but then they have like a conversation about the horse stick.
Yeah.
About having each other's backs and being the elite, and and then you say Hangman tells him good luck with Jericho. Hope he thought he has better luck than he did with Jericho. So I don't know. I'm still thinking even that eventually is going to be a turn. I don't know. Watch it be something that Hangman Page is going to be the one that turn. We're all expecting like MJF to turn. Maybe it's going to be like Hangman Page.
Yeah, it could be Hangman for now, right? Yeah.
By the way. Marty's contract's up soon.
Oh.
November. So, I don't know. I'm still hoping.
Oh, man. They're going to build this up. Yeah. Dude, Marty's coming over. He's got to.
Yeah. So, that's what me and Kyle are on, but we'll see. Then we went into a little bit with Leva with Peter Avalon, and she talked about that she was researching about Big Macs, and Peter's like, "Don't you know that it makes you fat?" I was dying. And then her face, oh my god, I was dying. So that little bit, and then we saw like Moxley come out, and then we saw the whole thing with the merch with Matt coming out with the shirt and the scarf and the flip flops, and then they were giving free merch in the ring. I love that. That was such a great like ending of being elite to see that, and it just shows you like how much they appreciate the fans. The feeling that they must get like just in the middle of ring talking every week that they cut.
It's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Because they've done this stuff even in like Ring of Honor when they were in Ring of Honor. So
but now they get to do it on the big stage, right? And it's all because we supported them.
It's crazy.
If it wasn't for us, like AEW wouldn't be a thing, guys. Remember that. If there wasn't for our support, they wouldn't have started this company. So,
but yeah, that was it with being the elite. So,
good episode. I'm excited for this week's episode or next week. I'm excited for Dark. I want to know what the announced matches were. So I can't wait to check Twitter tonight and see what they had for Dark. So, I'm excited. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look right now. While we're on air, I'm going to cheat and look what someone's had to have posted something about Dark tonight. So I'm going to look it up right now while we're talking. I'm getting stuff from last week. Even last week's Dark was cool. Your boy Darby had a really, really good showing. Oh my God.
But I think because of like the three-way match that we had, I got on board with Jack Evans a little bit more. And you know what I also like is that we kind of not just seeing them in tag team, that we're actually seeing them in single competition, which I kind of like as well. So we could see what they can do. So I became like a fan of Jack Evans after this three-way match.
So here we go. Report for AEW Dark. I'm going to have to watch now because of the first match. We had Shawn Spears facing off against Michael Nakazawa.
Ooh!
We had Big Swole and Mercedes Martinez facing Sadie Gibbs and Allie. And then Joey Janela and Jimmy Havoc faced off against the Jurassic Express.
Oh, Marco and all right.
So
sounds good.
Those were the three AEW Dark matches for tonight. So my boy Spears is on Dark. All right, watching Dark next week. Can't wait.
Michael Nakazawa. See, now I'm starting to think we're going to get Joey Janela versus Shawn Spears at Full Gear.
Okay. Well, I mean, we only have 4 matches.
Because we kind of got that in the Being the Elite episode. What was it, 2 weeks ago or last week?
Yeah. And, I mean, there's probably going to be 7 to 8 matches, maybe closer to 9, including pre-show. So they could fit it in there. So
yeah, I think we're going to get that.
God,
yeah.
I love it. Love it. AEW.
Oh, my God, it's next week.
I know. Full Gear's getting close. We're going to be there live, guys. Me, myself, and Tiff. Going to be on the hard camera side. Not exactly in the 100s. We're a little bit above it. So I was thinking about making like a bright neon yellow sign because you can definitely see that on TV. So I'll think about it. I wouldn't be sure what to write on it just yet. So we'll see. Color footage. Yeah, maybe that. You know, that's right. Maybe, you know what? I'll do that. I'll write color footage. I'll make one. I'll go to the dollar store this weekend.
We got to bring it to Brandon and have him autograph it.
Yeah.
And then you can put your background.
Tiff, that's not the only thing I'm bringing down. Just to let you know, they'll give you a little tease. Your care package.
My God, the care package.
Not only that, it's gotten an upgrade. So I had someone working with me on a care package here. I actually have old co-host Brandon probably going to be adding something to the care package. So it's got. I've had to rethink the box and make a bigger box.
Oh snap!
But
you have an SUV.
Do you remember what the original content of the box was?
Okay, just so you guys know, a little backstory is when Kyle was doing the NXT podcast back then, he used to do contests all the time, and he had it in a generator of if you answered one of his questions, which it was the first title match at NXT, which was my boy Seth Rollins won at I was in love with Seth Rollins. So I won the package, but Kyle never sent it. And even when Kyle come to visit me, he never. So all I know is, from what I remember you telling me, was there was a Seth Rollins figure in it.
Yep.
You were supposed to bring me K-Cups because Kyle has a Keurig store, which we don't have here in the States, where you can buy loose K-Cups. And you're supposed to bring me a coffee bar. I don't remember what else was in it. You didn't tell me shit. You just told me that.
Well, the Seth Rollins one's really cool because it's a rare action figure. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all I'm telling you, man. It's tease. That's all you're getting. You get to meet No Self Phil for the first time. So there you go.
Yeah. It's be footage because we are going to vlog. That's what we said we were gonna do. So, but that'll be next week. I'm sure we'll be posting on the All Elite Twitter, and I'm sure I'll be periscoping, and
be rocking. I'll probably be wearing my AEW hoodie all weekend, and any new hoodie I buy there. So,
if you guys are going, hit us up. So we'd love to meet you guys. So either you could message me and Kyle on our personal Twitters, or you can hit up the All Elite Podcast Twitter.
It's up right down there. There you go. At real Kyle Masters for me, and that Loves to Dream 82 for Tiff.
Just make sure you have an extra charger with you.
I know. I won't forget this time. But guys, before we end off the episode, make sure you're following us on social media, like Tiff just said. You can follow us and like us on Facebook at All Elite Podcast, on Instagram at All Elite Pod, and on Twitter. Most importantly, Twitter. That is our main hub at All Elite Pod. Make sure you're following the correct social media links. Links are located down in the YouTube description below. And while you're at YouTube, hit that subscribe button. That's always important too. Hit the bell icon for all upload notifications. We are also available on the go on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and now Podcast Addict. Tiff, we are now on Podcast Addict. For the All Elite Podcast. So we're addicts of podcasting. Exactly. So it fits. So you can get your All Elite Podcast wherever you want on the go. We have an AEW Tees store. That's right. AEW Tees is now live, folks, for you guys to go check out awesome merchandise from here at the podcast. A lot of cool stuff on there, and that is allelitepodcast.secure-decoration.com. Link is located down in the description if you need help on the YouTube version of this podcast. And also on that store, guys, thanks to our friends, These Wolves, they have their own t-shirt on there. That's presented by them. These Wolves, music for the elite. Awesome t-shirt. It's already sold, I think, 2 on the shop so far. So guess what? All proceeds are donated to Culture City. So those proceeds will be donated directly to Culture City, guys, and they're awesome nonprofit organization dedicating to fighting the inclusion, or to fight for the inclusion and acceptance of everyone and individuals regardless of their unique abilities. And we saw that tonight with their packages that they released to the people in Charleston. Really cool stuff, guys. Really cool stuff in that website, guys. AEW Tees is now live right now. Go check it out. Ooh. Oh, wait. Is that a Fat Pharaoh sighting I see?
Yes.
Fat Pharaoh, who's coming with us next week, so better pack your bags there, Fat Pharaoh.
Definitely.
Can't wait. I can't wait to meet him. Haven't met him yet, guys. I've seen him, but I haven't met him yet.
Yes, we had the big guy, so this is the official one.
So, anywho, like I said before, great episode of Dynamite tonight, guys. Awesome stuff. We'll be back next week for our official. Next week's going to be the Full Gear prediction show. Not sure if we're going to do a Dynamite review or not, so keep an eye out on the Twitter page for that and the updates. But for sure, we're going to be doing a prediction show for Full Gear and a review probably after the weekend when me and Tiff get back to our own city and we'll relax it a little bit. Kind of don't want to get rushed into that. But, yeah, that'll be coming the next week and a half, 2 weeks here, going into November.
Woo.
Other than that, guys, that's probably going to wrap it up here for episode number 52 of the All Elite Podcast, your source for everything All Elite related, and right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. You can follow us on Twitter, guys, again, at All Elite Pod. You can follow the network at NHB Network, and you can follow myself at Real Kyle Masters, my co-host at Loves to Dream 82. And I am your host, as always, of the All Elite Podcast, your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, joined by my co-host. She is the EVP of Giggles, the heartbreak chick herself, the Queen of the Indies, Tiffany. And, guys, we'll see you guys next week for more All Elite Podcasts. See you later.